All right, guys, I think I'm live. I think I'm live. I think I'm the only one in here, too. So I will just wait to see if anybody comes in, and that way you can let me know if you can hear me or not. Um, well, no, I don't want to do that yet. Let's just wait and see if somebody comes in. This wasn't, there's somebody. This wasn't a scheduled live. Wasn't sure if I was going to do it until about 45 minutes ago. And then, hey, Annette, how are you? And then things happened, and wasn't sure if I was going to get to start the live. Hello, fallen Arkansas veterans. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Make sure that I did it right, because again, this time I came in and thought I was starting the live and hit the wrong button, and I don't know where I went, but I found my way back. So if you guys, okay, yes, and video is good. Thank you, Lorie. Hey, Peggy. How are you guys doing today? Good. Hope you had a great Mother's Day. I did. I didn't think. Yes, I did. We did a lot of work Mother's Day, actually, outside. So, um, Deborah Jensen from Nebraska. Hello. I don't know. Waterlogged. Yes, we are too. I don't know how long this live will last. Because, like I said, I wasn't really expecting to do a live. And then right at the last minute, I almost didn't do a live. But we'll just see how it goes. It depends on how you guys, if you have questions, if you have something that you want to talk about. But before we get started, I do need to mention that I am an affiliate of Jace Medical, and I think I've done this every live, the last few lives. MT Homestead, hello. I am a Jace Medical affiliate, and the link is in the description below, and it is also on my About tab on my channel. And what Jace Medical is a company that will provide you with a set of an emergency supply of antibiotics. You'll get a prescription of antibiotics from a board certified physician. They ask you some questions all over the computer. Occasionally they'll have to call you depending on your medical needs. Sometimes they'll have to call you and talk to you that way. But for me, it was just a matter of answering a few questions online and uploading my ID and sending that in to them so that they, know they can verify that I am who I say I am. And then the antibiotics came to me in the mail. I think there were 5 different antibiotics, and it comes with a little booklet telling you what circumstance you would use each type of antibiotic for. And because it is prescribed to you, it is the dose that you need, and it tells the dosage and how to take it and when to take it on the bottle, just like a regular prescription. I've also noticed that let's see, like, I don't know who you guys watch, but Ben Shapiro is a Jace Medical affiliate, and so is who was the latest one I saw? It was today. Glenn Beck. So, I mean, it's a legit company. My aunt has gotten antibiotics through them, and so has my dad. Both of them, are older, and they have, medications that they take on a regular basis, and they were still able to get antibiotics through Jace. I did have one person leave a comment on one of my videos one time saying that he was not allowed to get when he tried to go through the process, they couldn't help him because of all his medical issues. But and it's, I feel bad for him that he couldn't, but at the same time, it made me feel good knowing that they weren't just handing them out to anybody. But it's just antibiotics, a supply of antibiotics to have on hand just in case something happens and we cannot get to the doctor. So there is that. Also, I wanted to remind everybody that June 11th is I don't know if it's the last day. I don't know if the 10th or the 11th is the last day, but you are not going to be able to purchase antibiotics, over-the-counter antibiotics for your pets. Has nothing to do with Jace Medical. Don't get those two confused. The one is prescribed to you and not to your pet. But like right now, today I can go in Atwoods or Tractor Supply or the local feed store and purchase penicillin or LA200 or just a number of different types of antibiotics for my livestock. But June 11th, you won't be able to do that. And like I said, I don't know if that's the last day or if that's the first day of when you can't do it. But from there on out, this is nationwide. You'll have to get a prescription. So that is something that you guys, if you have livestock or are going to get livestock, might want to think about getting something, something and setting it back. There is, a shelf life to antibiotics, but it does, it's usually about a year, I think, but it still works a little bit beyond that year. That's just something you would need to do your own research on. I'm not going to give advice there because surely something would go wrong and someone would say, well, Lorie said, and I don't want that. But June 11th, let's see who's in here and see what you guys have to say and all that. Let's see, Lorie Carp, fallen Arkansas veteran, Peggy, Annette, Deborah, let's see, James Jesse. So far, okay, I started to say James Jesse, but so far, these people that I've listed have like almost always comment on my videos, and I appreciate that. And there's probably more in here, but all those names are very familiar because I talk to them all the time through the comments. MT Homestead. By the way, MT Homestead is doing, I'm going to mention the expo. So I'm going to mention MT Homestead. They are doing a YouTube meetup. I think it's at the end of this month. Terry, if you could drop a link down or something, type in the information and I'll pin it to the top for you. It's a YouTube meetup, be a lot of channels there for you to go interact with, meet them and talk to them. Our Way Out. Hello from Arkansas. Hello, Our Way Out. I'm in Siloam Springs right now. I'm at my parents' house in Siloam Springs, Arkansas. Ed Kirkpatrick will be. Ed, are you going to the MT meetup? I know he'll be at the expo. That might be hard for you to do both, come to think of it. Let's see. Okay. I'm kind of scared to say this. Hobbenpooter. I probably just butchered that, but hello. They're from Nebraska. Tina from Canada. Yeah. James Jesse is Ed. He enjoys your stories, and I do too. Our Okie Homestead. Whoa. Try to scroll down. Gail Southern Living. Hello, Gail. Met Gail at a meetup before. Brenda. Hope all moms had a fabulous Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. LG Homestead. Is it this weekend? Is there a thing this weekend? Yes, it is. Wait, what? Fallen Arkansas. I would not have been standing there videoing. I would have dropped the camera and ran like the Dickens. What are we talking about? Oh, a snake. Talking about okay, you're probably talking about MT Homestead. Okay, she says it's this weekend, Mid-America YouTube Meetup, May 19th through the 21st at Cherokee Landing State Park, Lake Tenkiller. So I've pinned that to the top. If you guys have any questions, need any directions, dadgummit, Mike wanted me to send you a bribe for a hug at the Okie Homestead Expo. I cost more than $10. That's funny. Anyway, what was I saying? Never been bribed for a hug before. Yeah, if you have any questions, you want to know how to get there, any complaints because it's not closer to you or it's the wrong date, reach out to Mike and Terry at MT Homestead. Blow up their email. Thank you, Lorie, for pinning the info. Okay, I thought you were about to say something smart. You pronounced Hoopin Pooter correctly. LOL. I really enjoy your content. Well, thank you. Thank you. So what is that name? Like, is that, I don't know if it's like what is that? Okay, Homestead. He's gonna get you. No, I'm gonna hide. I got out of it last year. I feel like this is my year. I was on listening to Off Grid Doug and Stacy last night. They went live, and been missing them because I've been at church. It's good I was at church last night. I skipped anyway. So apparently they are huggers, and they said if you come out to the Oakley Homesteading Expo, come up and talk to them, give them a hug, and all that. Now they've got 5,000 people in chat, so they don't see all the chats. But I asked if a fist bump would be sufficient instead of a hug because I don't do hugs. So that's going to be a problem. Lorie Carp did that. Well, okay, hang on. I'll come back to you, Lorie. So I told you about MT's meetup. So June 2nd and 3rd, Pryor, Oklahoma, Mays County Fairground is the Okie Homesteading Expo. Okie Homesteading Expo. Can somebody, is it Okie? Oh, I've forgotten the link. I've forgotten what the website's called. Can somebody find that and then post that link down there? You can purchase tickets ahead of time online, or you can purchase them at the gate. But apparently, MT Homestead is going to be there. Mike and Terry, Off Grid, Doug and Stacy are going to be there. They're going to be speakers. There's a whole lot of channels going to be there. This is not a YouTube meetup, though. This is an expo, homesteading expo. So there'll be a lot there to learn. There'll be a lot of vendors there to purchase things from, and just a good experience, learning experience. And you get to meet people and see people and hide from people like Mike, and apparently Doug, who like to hug. I don't know what it is with these tall guys that just want to be all mushy, but MT, Lorie's anxiety goes through the roof when people want to give her a hug, but we love her anyway. I have never, like Mom and Dad tell me when I was a baby, like real little, I've never liked to be touched. Yes, and it says Dutch and Walkers and many more. Keeping it Dutch, of course, Keeping it Dutch, Hidden Heights Farms. They're the farm, Hidden Heights Farm. They are hosting it, so they most certainly will be there. The Macs, I believe, are going to be there. They were there last year. I know Houston's dad. What's his name? It left me. Daniel Arms. I know he'll be there. Hopefully Houston will be there. He was there last year. Just a whole bunch of channels. Of course, I'll be there. So you got a wide range of, very well-known channels, a lot of subscribers to small channels like mine. Daniel Arms. So Lorie Carp asked if that heifer ever had her baby. And no, she hasn't. And I got a video coming out tomorrow, but I actually recorded it, I think, on Sunday or Saturday. I don't remember. But you'll see, she is just like, I don't know why she hasn't had it. I don't know. So I don't know a lot about cows, this first experience with cows, and especially cows calving. But I can look at her and tell, why hadn't she had it? She's not in labor. There's nothing, it's just, it could happen. Actually, by the time I get home, I can go out there and be a calf. But if I do, there will be a video, but probably a short first. Let's see. I lose a lot of stuff here. He's gonna get you. Aroki Homestead, are you gonna be at the expo? It's a name. I named my dog Heidi. I can't even. Heidi Bombobin Pootermo. I don't know. We have a cat named Shing, like the sound effect of pulling a sword out of the sheath. You know, the shing, the little, and we call her Shing-a-ling-a-ding dong. So I guess you can call your dog whatever you want to call your dog. I got another dog named Caleb, and that is Hebrew for dog. So his name is Dog. Peggy says you wouldn't want to go to her church. It's full of huggers. Yeah, most churches are. I try to. I mean, I do okay at church. Sometimes I get uncomfortable, but I don't know. I'm just not one to voluntarily hand over a hug. It's usually got to be taken or bribed or something. Actually, I've never been bribed. That's the first, Mike. Our homestead. We haven't even made reservations yet for the expo. Well, if you plan on going, you might want to get there. Empty Homestead, we weren't going to be able to make it to the expo. We were supposed to go to Colorado, but now Mike has to be here for a ceremony at work so we can go to the expo. I'm glad you're going to the expo. Minus Mike trying to give me a hug. I look forward to see you guys again. I've seen them a few times. Lots of hugs to go around. I had to wait till I was closer to make sure we could go. Critter sitter. Yeah, I get that. So hopefully we'll see you out there, maybe. Is your baby calf getting its milk from that thief? Okay. I tell it in this next video, guys. Promise me to go watch the video Wednesday. You know my Wednesday video. So I put a video out on Wednesday and Sundays. And it doesn't matter what I put on Wednesday. It does not do nearly as well as the videos I put out on Sunday. And I look at my analytics, and most of the audience, like the whole day of Sunday, it's like what everybody's doing is watching YouTube. Apparently, my audience, like it shows it's specifically for my audience, and so Sunday's a good day to upload. And so I try to get a second video in. I've started trying to do 2 videos a week instead of 1. When I first started, I committed to 1 a week. Well, now I'm trying to get 2 a week. And I'm doing really well at doing that, but the Wednesday videos, they just don't do nearly as good. But it's the next day that has the most views on it, like on my analytics. So I don't know. So you guys go watch the Wednesday videos, and I will say that I separated that cow and calf from the other cow and calf for 1 day, and they're doing a lot better. So it was just 1 day, and then that evening I opened the gates and let them get back together. And I did that for 2 reasons. One reason is that we have a lot of coyotes out there, and I just feel like that the babies would be safer if all the cows were together, all 3 of them. And then the second reason is that particular night, can't talk. We were supposed to have a lot of storms, possibly tornadoes, hail, stuff like that. And the way I had separated them, the rest of the cows, the 1 calf and the other 2 cows, wouldn't be able to get under the trees. I don't have a shelter up there, so they needed to have access to the trees to get under it in case of hail or whatever. And so I went ahead and opened the gate and let them get back together. I am fidgeting with a lid. I hope it's not too loud. I'm anxious, anxiety. I don't feel nervous about the live. I just feel anxiety in general. And apparently it's something a lot of people have to deal with. And I am definitely one of those people. Sometimes I don't get very much sleep at night at all. It's Crazy Adventures. Hello. Glad to see that you've started coming into live streams again and started the YouTube thing back up. He said, I will be there to help MT Homestead with whatever they need. So It's Crazy Adventures will be at the Mid-America meetup. Kay Barnes is in here, didn't get the notification. I wonder why. Because you comment on like pretty much all my videos and stuff. I don't know why you didn't get a notification. Let's see. Jovita, howdy. Jovita, it's always in here. Always commenting. Annette, I got weirded out by people I don't know being in my dance space. I got me. What'd you get, Ed? House rental. What kind of house rental? I don't understand that. I don't get it. My can is. Okay, I'm reading text messages. See if you guys are talking to me. No one's talking to me. Nobody's listening to me. Nobody's talking to me. Deborah says, oh, maybe Deborah listens. Thank you, Deborah. Deborah says she gets more anxiety as she gets older. And I hate to hear that. Yeah, I hate to hear that. So I had anxiety real bad when I was, well, my gosh, until I was in my mid-20s. And then was able to get past all that. And then now I'm here a few years ago, started having panic attacks, not just anxiety, but panic attacks. I'm not really totally sure why, but sometimes it's just anxiety. I feel anxious and I don't know why. It's not that I'm scared of any particular situation, although that can trigger it. Like if I mean, a live stream could trigger anxiety. It wouldn't, I don't think it would do a panic attack, but usually panic attacks come at night when it's dark outside. Like some days when I feel anxious during the day, I dread the nighttime because I know it's coming. I still don't know what that is, Ed. I'll have to Google that. Home rental for vacations. Okay. How close are you to Combs, Arkansas? If you're talking to me, I don't know where Combs is. If you're talking to me, I live in Oklahoma. I'm at mom and dad's right now because I'm doing laundry. I usually do laundry on Mondays, and then I usually like sometimes have to take towels in and do them at the laundromat where we live or close to where we live. We don't have a washer and dryer hooked up yet. I do have a washer and dryer. They're both in the garage. We've been moved into a house for, some of you don't know because you're new. I've gotten a lot of new subscribers, but we moved into a house that was not ready to move into. It had been vacant for a few years, and we had to go in and take everything out. And we moved in. We put new subfloor down, plyboard, and moved in. Like we had one bath. We still have. I started to say we had one bathroom. We have two bathrooms, but only one bathroom to take a shower in. We don't have washer and dryer hooked up, and we've been there over a year, just a little over a year, and we just recently got a kitchen in. So at mom and dad's doing laundry. Wait, what? I love watching and learning. You help me, and I hope I help you somehow. I have a lot to learn. Yeah, I have a lot to learn. It says it's like an Airbnb. I rented a house on the lake for a week. You're going to be up here for a week, like up in northeast Oklahoma for a week, or where are you going to be? Like, oh, I bet you're going to all 4 days of the expo thing. Is it like 4 days? Like there's the hog processing like 2 days before, and then both days at the fairgrounds. Probably what he's talking about. Peggy says, I can't do heavy traffic. I get that panic, heart racing, can't breathe. Yeah. Can I? Sometimes I feel like I can't breathe, but most of the time it feels like my mind, I feel like the biggest fear during a panic attack is losing control of my mind. My mind races so fast. It feels like it's not my head. It feels like nothing off poltergeist or anything, but it feels like my mind is going in circles, spinning, and that I will lose control and not come back from the mind racing so fast that I can't grab thoughts out of it. It's very hard to me. So when I'm panicking, like right now, I am my speech is a little quicker, and I interrupt myself and I forget what I'm saying. When I'm panicking, everything inside is racing, but when I talk, it's actually slower. It's really weird. It's almost, if you didn't know me, it would seem like I was drowsy, or you wouldn't know that I was having it depends on what point in the panic attack I was in. Usually if I'm having a panic attack, I am not afraid to tell somebody, okay, I'm freaking out. I just need you to know that in case I say something stupid. Lucy Warren's World. I started getting panic attacks since 16, sometimes can last for weeks or like a month. It could depend on my diet, something triggering, or for no reason. So when you have those panic attacks, and you say it could last for weeks or a month, is that like daily? Surely that's not all day long, like 24 hours? Because I don't know. I think I would die. Like, I don't know if I could handle that. I mean, like anxiety, high anxiety. I can have high anxiety for several weeks. It's exhausting. But having a panic attack for any length of time is very exhausting. So I couldn't imagine going on like an hour or whatever in a full blown panic attack. So how does that work for you? Oh, that's good. MT Homestead says, not sure how far Lorie is from Combs, but the Mid America YouTube meetup is only 85 miles from there. That's good. We're pushing that meetup. Lucy Warren's World. I'm on meds to help manage it, but have had to be on more meds, which I'm not liking, but only way to help me from getting any. I'm not on meds. I have been on meds. Like, I'm not knocking meds. I'm not on meds, and I don't want to go there. And as bad as it has been, I don't know. It would take a lot to get me back on meds. It says all 4 days a week in prayer. That is awesome. You're gonna have an awesome time because everybody's your friend up there, huh? You're just gonna have a whole lot of fun, Ed, and I'm glad you get to go. Okay, I'm gonna try your name again. Hobbenpooter. Lorie, I get panic attacks and anxiety. I'm on 20 medications. A smell or song can set off my attacks. I get that. I definitely get that. I can't sit in the back seat. I have to drive. I'm not a good passenger. I understand that. Being the only thing with me being in the back seat would be motion sickness, but not really anxiety. But I'll tell you, I was sitting in the car today, this morning, headed into work, and we stopped at the post office, and Greg went in to get the mail, and so he took my keys. And while he was in the post office, I don't know if it was on purpose or accident, I don't know, but he pushed the button that locked the doors on the car, and I about freaked out. For one thing, I forgot that he had the keys and he had that ability to do that. So that took probably half a second to figure out. But besides that, I had to open the door. It did freak me out. And some days are better than others. I was on the brush hog the other day on the tractor, and I always put the seatbelt on. Um, but the other day I was riding along and all of a sudden felt trapped, and I had to take the seatbelt off. The thought came across, what if the seatbelt button doesn't work when you push it? I'm minding my own business, brush hogging this field, my dad's field, and the thought comes across my mind out of nowhere, what if the button doesn't work when you push it and the seatbelt doesn't come off? And then, I mean, it's stupid stuff. Like, I mean, where does that come from, you know? Lucy, it doesn't work for me. I can't function at all. Latina, hello. Hello, hello. Glad you're here. Lance, your name's Lance. Boot docking with Boomer. Hello, Lance. K-Barn, when does Dolly go home? I had 10 out of 13 ducks hatched so far. They are cute, all going back to my daughters. That's good. You can hatch cute little ducks and send them off to another home. That's really good because they are cute. Ducks are the cutest, I think, when they first hatch, but then they get really messy. I never thought that I would get more ducks, and then I started seeing the Cayuga ducks on Hidden Heights videos, and it's like, those are pretty. Those are what I want. And so I'm trying that for a bit. They're super cute when they're little, but then golly, they're so messy. I don't know about Dolly. There is no rush on Dolly and Oreo going home. They are not a problem. It's kind of funny, the little mischief that Dolly gets into. But I believe they're bred. I'm pretty sure they're bred. I would be shocked if they weren't bred, right? And I think they were bred when we had them separated. We have them all where they can all get together now, but I think they were bred when they were separated to the right buck. People are busy this month, and so and then, you know, the expo's coming up, and Cassie and Gary are helping with the expo a lot. So I don't know that it'll be this month, but just whenever they decide they want them back, that's when it'll happen. So, but no rush. They're not any trouble. We had a bunch of backs. Oh, you've had a bunch of back surgeries in the last 4 years. Had to take a lot of pain pills and really mess up your mind. Yes, I understand that. I have a pain pump, so meds go directly to my back. Oh, wow. See, I don't think I could take any pain medication without it triggering anxiety. It's these thoughts that come out of nowhere, and it doesn't, and I don't know if that's that way with you guys. It's not usually, it can be, but it's not usually a physical symptom in my body that triggers it. It's not usually getting dizzy or, you know, your heart flutters or anything like that that triggers it. It can trigger it, but it doesn't usually. What it is a thought that comes just out of nowhere. So I took a Benadryl the other night and had a panic attack. I took a Benadryl, and I knew it was about to make me drowsy. And just one Benadryl, and I thought, I can't undo it. I took this Benadryl and I can't undo it. It is stuck in me. Like, whatever it's going to do, it's going to do, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I felt trapped, and I had a panic attack, and actually called my brother. And that sounds really stupid, but it's these a single thought that you take way too far. One night I woke up um, and thought I was asleep, but I woke up and I'm awake in bed, and I thought about how the Earth is spinning out in space on its own, and there's nothing we can do about it, and there's nothing we could do about it if it got off its rotation, or off of its what is it called? Not the rotating on the axis, but the orbit. If it got off the orbit just a little bit, there's nothing we could do about it. That caused a major panic attack, like 3 a.m. one time. Just a silly thought. I don't know. Ovita checks her stove many, many times before she leaves her house. I used to do that, and I check the door locks, but not excessively anymore. Little Frenchie in Big Texas. Uh, Little Frenchie's hatching turkeys too. Everybody's hatching turkeys, and those turkeys sell quickly. I did not know. Wow, I didn't know how fast those would go. Dad reminded me that last year some people were eating canned turkey for Thanksgiving because we had a shortage, but they just sell really quickly. It's crazy adventures. 42 eggs in the incubator. Should be hatching any day. Hopefully, we get more than just one. Yeah. So my last batch of turkeys, none of them hatched. My first batch, 7 hatched. I think I had like 10 in there, and 7 hatched, and they sold really quickly. So I put a whole bunch more than 10, in another incubator that I borrowed from somebody, and none of them hatched. And so now I've got more eggs in the original incubator, and I'm hoping that makes the difference. I don't know. Terry had turkey eggs in her incubator, and only one hatched. She's got one lonely turkey. Oh, yeah, you had that power outage. I forgot about that. Peggy says that's when you got to believe and have faith. When it comes to the Earth spinning on rotation or on its orbit, yeah, you pretty much have to just go by faith there. That's for sure. And then I always got panic attacks at busy stores or crowds. I've done that. Not so much anymore. Well, I don't really get in super big crowds. Aoki Homestead. I incubated a batch. One hen just hatched some. Another hen is sitting. My hens won't sit. It's got to go. Planted purple whole peas and okra seeds in the garden. Need to water them. See you later. All right. See you later, Ed. Although you're probably gone because I don't know how far behind I am. Got 29 in here and 30 thumbs up. That's pretty good. I get panic attacks sometimes. It's the smell that can trigger it. I am like you, and random thought I can do it. I think it's the what ifs and the unknowns that gets me. The unknowns and not able to change things. Ought to split with Cassie and have her hatch them on the halves. She told me she'd hatch something for me, but I've heard in a turkey group, don't add water to your incubator when trying to hatch turkeys. So I didn't add anything. It seems to have worked. I was worried. Really? So I added water to mine. Mine was the one that had the 7 that hatched, was one of those styrofoam incubators that you get like at Tractor Supply or Outwoods. You know what I'm talking about? They're not everywhere, but If you go to the feed store, they even sell them at the feed store. The little the they're not starting to say cheap, but they're not cheap, but they're cheaply made with styrofoam. I added water. I kept it like actually I had the humidity. I kept it kind of high, and they hatched. I found that hard tack. I think it says hardtack peppermint helps me calm down from anxiety. Just make sure it is real peppermint oil, not the imitation stuff. Everybody has anxiety. I did not know this. Thought I was alone. Terry's got to go get eggs. Talking about hatching eggs made her think about our eggs. Hello, Brenda. Lucy's world, fear of the death and beyond after death is what triggers me. That kind is in fear of death and beyond after death. So you do, well, as a Christian, there is more understanding and knowledge of where you're going after death. And so that is very helpful. But so the process of how death feels is where my issue. But because my faith is in Jesus, like he is my salvation, he is the one that paid a price for my sins, the actual what is beyond death is not the issue, because the Bible tells me what's beyond death. But the process of dying, what does that feel like? That's sometimes a problem. I often wonder, imagine, like when we die, we have to go before God, Christian or not Christian, saved or not saved. Everybody will one day stand before God, whether you believe him or not, believe in him or not. God does exist, and we all will stand before God. And so imagining that as a Christian doesn't cause panic attacks, but there's this, how do I say it? I don't even know what words to use. There's this imagining how that might feel to finally stand before the God of all creation, the God that is outside of time, the God that is beyond death. There is no death for him, and he created all things. And to stand before someone who is that powerful, that gives me something to think about. Like, to imagine that does not cause anxiety really, but kind of maybe a reverential fear, I guess you could say. K Barnes, I have one turkey baby too. Does turkeys lay only certain time of the year, or like chickens first time? Okay, so I didn't know this either until just recently, but they are seasonal. I think they lay, I'm thinking maybe through June. I'm not sure. I think through June though, and then they won't lay again till next spring. But man, mine are laying a lot of eggs. Peggy says, get a Bible that explains it all. It does. It does explain it all. And it is if you're not used to reading the Bible, it can be, it can seem overwhelming to kind of just, dive straight into it. When I was younger, when I say younger, I mean, I was an adult. When I was an adult and I decided, that I was going to, submit to God, accept Jesus as my savior. So part of that was getting into his word. Well, if that's how he speaks to us, then I need to know what the word says. But the problem I had is, even beyond the these and thous, I got a new King James version, and it still was a bit overwhelming to me. So this is the truth. I got a kindergarten's Bible and started learning the story. So once I learned the story of Adam and Eve and learned the story of Moses and learned the story of David Goliath, then I'd move up to a teen's Bible and move on up until like I can understand it. Revelation's kind of hard, but it's becoming easier. But and that's the way I not just the Bible. That's if I don't understand something, then we're going to dumb it down to where I can understand it if I want to understand it at all. Lucy Warren's world. I'm more spiritual than religious, but I do believe everything, all religions and beliefs sum together at the end of the day. Wait, I'm more spiritual than religious, but I do believe everything, all religions and beliefs come together at the end of the day. So Christianity doesn't, because as you look at other religions, Jesus claimed to be the Son of God, and in Islam, they don't have a claim to be the Son of God. Like there are a lot of religions that have prophets and have prophecies, and they have a god or gods, but in Christianity there's one God, one Godhead, and Jesus is the only way to him, and he himself claims to be the Son of God, and that's something that other religions don't have. So there is a difference. Donna is in here from a little Southern Brothers. And I'm just telling this as a Christian, as someone who does serve God and has accepted Jesus for my salvation, because he's the only one that can do that. But he does claim in the word that he is the Son of God and was sent by God. So there is that difference. He died on the cross according to the Bible. Yeah, that's how I know too. But I believe it. That's why I make an effort to read the Bible every day, because I got to thinking about, well, how do I know that Jesus, like I was raised that way, Jesus died on the cross for our sins. And a lot of people know Jesus died on the cross for their sins. What's up, Diane? But I thought, well, how do I know? Just because mom, dad told me as I was growing up, or just because the pastor said, or whatever. So, and I got to think about that. And the reason I know that Christ died for my sins is because the Bible tells me so. And if the Bible tells me the way to my salvation or his salvation, then the Bible probably has a whole lot of other things that I probably need to know too. And that's why I started to say made an effort, but it was more than made an effort. I strove to learn and understand what is in the Bible. Don't know everything for sure. I'm not a minister, but not that ministers know everything either. But what I'm saying is that's how I found out that Jesus, or come to know that Jesus is the Lord and is the only way to God. And so that's why it's very important to get into the Word and continue in the Word, because that's the whole Bible from Genesis in the beginning, even before, Genesis starts 4,000 years before Christ. But that whole Old Testament tells of Jesus coming. And then when you get into the New Testament is the life of Christ. And then after his resurrection and ascension into heaven, then you have the letters from the apostles going more into depth about what Jesus did for us. Except Revelation, well, no, including Revelation, I guess. Revelation would be like the fulfillment, I guess, the overall conclusion of what Christ did for us, and tells us what's coming in the future. And in my opinion, what's happening right now. Revelation and the book of Daniel and Isaiah are very, very, very relevant to today. Let's see. What did I miss? What'd she get? How many eggs? 16? She got 16 eggs and they shorted her. Okay, so typically lay about an egg a day starting in early spring and go through autumn or so. Are you talking about the turkeys, Terry? Because I was under the impression it would like just the spring into summer. But this is my first time with turkeys. That's what I thought, but this had laid a lot. Wait, that is what I thought, but this hen hatched a lot. But she covered up all so much, only one made it. She's sitting again. Lucy, thank you. It does work for me. Thank you. And thank you for being here, regardless if we agree on that or not. Not that we disagree, but he had 12 and was, wait. Oh, I'm not sure. I think you may be talking about disciples. I don't know. You like Mike's Lorie of ducks. Yeah. He threatened to name one of his ducks Lorie because I called them ugly. Like the Muscovy duck is not the prettiest duck out there. I'm just saying. And so when he got those ducks, I'm like, if you're going to get ducks, why get an ugly duck? And so I teased him about it. He threatened to name one of them Lorie, and so I kind of beat him to the punch. And then so he named, okay, so he started out, I thought, naming 4 of them Lorie, but now apparently he's got 6 named Lorie. Like he still had 6 hens, but I thought originally he named 4 of them Lorie. But in the last video, number 6, or last video I saw, I think there's another video I haven't seen out yet. The turkeys, our last one anyway, went into fall laying as long as the temperature stayed above 50 or so during the day. Well, that is good to know. Hey, Donna just hatched 6 baby chicks. That's cool. So I don't understand everything in the Bible. However, I truly believe he is my Lord. I feel I just have to believe and trust in him. I remember my aunt telling me that the disciples were in danger. Well, they were all in danger. And Christians today are in danger in other countries. Like their lives are in danger. People die for their Christianity in other countries. And there have been cases here where people were opposed to Christianity and have actually murdered people here in America. But as far as the government goes, so far we're still free. It won't always be that way because Revelation tells us so. But Christianity is one of the most persecuted religions. It is different from other religions. It's the most persecuted, and none of them claim to be what Jesus does. Can't handle the noise from the. I don't like. I don't have geese because they're big, and so if ducks are messy, so geese are bigger and I would just add to it. But geese are really loud and they can be mean. One died. He had a big leg shaped like a L. It was really weird. He had so it was like it didn't form right or something. So when my duck hatched, the one duck that hatched from Hidden Heights, he had splayed leg, and I had to wrap his legs up together, not exactly together, but wrap them up underneath him to where they were straight, and left it wrapped up in like vet wrap for 48 hours, and then took it off. Of course, I did this right after he hatched. You got to do it like, like within 24 hours after they hatch. But then I took it off, and then he's fine. He's able to walk and all that. But I have been on here almost an hour. I need to get off. We've got to go home. I've got some animals to take care of, but I'm distracted by the comments. But you guys remember the affiliate link below if you're interested in an emergency supply of antibiotics. Remember, MT Homesteads YouTube meetup next weekend. If you're interested, go find MT Homestead and look them up. Send them an email and see where you need to be. And then June 2nd and 3rd, Pryor, Oklahoma, Mays County Fairground is the Okie Homesteading Expo. And if you go there, come find me. We'd like to see you, talk to you, meet you, but no hugs. We will see you later. And God bless you. Had to throw that out there. Now I got to figure out how to end the live stream.